I think one major risk is that emerging technologies can fundamentally challenge the foundation of the stable security relationships among the big nuclear powers. Right? From the Cold War, the nuclear stability relationship among the big nuclear powers has been based on the concept of so-called mutually assured destruction. That's how they maintain mutual deterrence and therefore stay stable. But now new technologies, especially non-nuclear technologies, can threaten this relationship. Right? Missile defense systems can intercept each other's nuclear retaliation operation. Hypersonic weapons, precision conventional weapons can take out their nuclear retaliation capability preemptively before they are launched. And even cyber weapons can be used to penetrate and interfere with the other nuclear powers' command and control and communication system, basically denying them the capacity to even launch their nuclear retaliation. So now we are facing a very different equation. Previously, we can simply make basic calculations and reach a basic understanding about whether the mutually assured destruction relationship holds. But now we cannot make that calculation anymore because we have to take into consideration all the new variables, the impact from missile defense, the impact from conventional precision strike weapons, the impact from cyber weapons. How do we do that calculation? There's no way to do that. The consequences, as a result, countries feel constantly concerned about their secure second strike capability. And countries like Russia and China might take extraordinary efforts to mitigate that new vulnerability. So the solution for that, there are basically two solutions. One is for countries to forgo the old structure of mutually assured destruction, but that requires a fundamental transformation of the nature of international politics, a transformation of the relationship among the big powers. Given the lack of trust among these countries, that will take very long time to accomplish. So the second option is basically to try to avoid overly exaggerating the threat from new technologies on nuclear weapon systems. It's also very hard to do because people have deeply embedded distrust against each other, and naturally they tend to use worst case scenario thinking in assessing the impact from new technologies on nuclear weapon systems. But I think the hope is people can start developing real expertise on these new technologies, and then to have candid and in-depth discussions about what's the real impact, right? Avoid exaggeration, develop nuanced understandings. I think that's where people can get started. Technical experts need to take the first step because many political disputes among big powers ultimately boil down to genuine technical disagreements on specific technical issues. If people devote time and efforts to look into those technical issues, finally they can reach some common understandings over those technical disagreements. And I think that holds the best hope for resolving political disputes. If we can resolve our disagreements on those underlying technical problems, we can gradually build common understandings, and that will help mitigate the political disputes. So I think the best way to resolve political distrust, the best way to avoid overreacting to the threat of new technologies is to have technical experts, to have informed discussions among themselves from different countries.